Hi, everyone. Gabby here, owner and clinical director of Recovered and Restored Eating Disorder Therapy Center. I have the pleasure of jumping on today with our Family Services Director, Becc Leatherman. And Beck has been a part of the team since the very beginning. She is such a rock star, and she is kind enough and brave enough to work with our families. So, Beck, tell us about you.
Gabby, this is of all the jobs I've ever had in 25 years of working since college, this is the most wonderful job. I love these families and I'm lucky enough to work with the kids sometimes. I love the teenagers. I love every moment of this job. It's a pleasure.
My gosh, you're the best. So tell us kind of how you became a social worker. Being in the field 25 years, this field is really hard. So like walk us through your journey.
Well, when I graduated from college, I was excited to go and help children and meet families and make a difference. And so I started doing that and I never stopped.
That's awesome. Where'd you go to school?
I went to a college called Summit University.
Hmm.
And at the time, it was a Bible college, and now it's a university.
Cool.
And um, and I then went to Baylor University for my master's degree.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you like your program at Baylor?
Yes, I love both programs I was a part of. I've loved the learning. And I
Mhm.
try to, Gabby, I still try to do that to this day.
Yeah,
Even though it's a busy time and a busy field, I'm trying always to learn something so I can share it with the families I work.
that's awesome. And I know they appreciate that because it's hard, right? Like what we see, it's heavy stuff.
It's really heavy stuff. So when they bring something to me that I'm not sure about or we're going to work through together, I get a book or I get a documentary. I find something to work on. Right now, I'm working on the Atomic Habits, which is a great
Ooh,
book, and a lot of my families are gaining helpful little snippets that help them with an aspect of something they're dealing with their teenagers.
that's amazing. Okay, so tell us a fun fact about you, and then we'll talk more about your role at Recovery and Restore.
Fun fact about me. Well, I love kids. I would rather be with kids than any other people group. I just think they're so much fun. They always
Yeah,
make me smile.
kids are so wonderful. And I think that's probably why you relate best with the parents because you're able to see that other side and help the parents see what their child or their teenager might be going through. That's kind of lost on them because they're in the thick of it.
Absolutely. And remind them of the good parts
Yeah.
and sit with them in the bad parts where we are right now, but know we're going to climb out of there. We're not staying forever.
Yes, yes, it's just a season. Okay, so tell us, as our family services director, and honestly a godsend because I am not the best when it comes to family work. Tell us kind of about your role, who you like to work with, and all the things.
Well, when the families first come, Gabby, I found parents are very discouraged. This is a
Yeah,
hard thing to go through. And
absolutely.
their children are getting a lot of support. You know,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
therapists and the teams and the medical professionals, like a lot of
Yeah,
people helping the kids.
yeah,
And the parents are kind of sitting over here lost and they
yeah,
don't know what to do, or there's a million things to do and they don't know what to do first. And
yeah.
so I love when they come and we can navigate what's
Hmm.
going to be the most helpful for your child and what's
Hmm.
going to help you right now to get through this. So I
Yeah.
love listening to them and hearing where they are in the process and what we can do
Hmm.
to
That's
navigate
awesome.
this.
Yeah. So when someone comes to you, they're hoping to either do family work or parent coaching, which that probably is a really different experience. Tell me what it's like for you as like the coach.
Gabby, it is so interesting because this is one of my favorite things. And I think if you ask about 8 out of 10 people that I work with,
Mhm.
they would say when they first come, they're like, "Hi, Becky, we're not sure why we're here. We don't know." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Okay, okay." So we talk a little bit. And by the end of the session, they're like, "Okay, are we coming tomorrow?" And I'm like, "Oh, let's go for once a week." Because I think that it's like the first time a lot of parents are getting heard. And I think so many parents, Gabby, come and they feel guilty. They feel so much guilt. And I
Mhm.
think when you're parenting from a place of guilt, it's not the best place.
Right. Right.
So I
Totally.
want to help them see what we can do to make changes,
Mhm.
where we can grow, and how we can
Mhm.
help your child in the best
Yes.
possible way.
Yes. Totally. And I think, like, with eating disorders, a lot of times with parents, I'm sure you hear this, like, "Did I cause this?" But we know there is not one cause for an eating disorder. And even if maybe you contributed, you're here now and you can help them figure out how to help them heal and stop the cycle.
That's the beauty. And that is what I love telling them there's hope. Like
Yes,
I say this all the time to them. We might have made mistakes. I make
totally.
mistakes.
We all make mistakes.
Parenting is the single hardest job in the world. And
Totally.
if you're here with a 12-year-old, with an 18-year-old, with a 30-year-old,
Mhm.
it's okay because
Okay.
this is really hard. And so what
Yes,
we have to do, we do hard work in our sessions.
I
And I
know.
tell families all the time, listen, some days when you get off with me, you're gonna love me. We feel good. We feel
Yep.
hopeful. Other times you get off and you don't like me because I'm going to ask hard questions and
Yeah.
I'm going to make us do hard work. Your teenagers are definitely not going to like me because I'm a huge boundary pusher, but I'm a huge person that says, let's put some boundaries in place. But
Yeah.
ultimately, in the end, it's going to make all of our lives better. And that's what
Yeah.
I found
Yes.
week after week. People know this is something we need.
Yeah. Yeah, because exactly like you said, the parents aren't getting the support. The teen or the young adult, or even the adult, if they're in the eating disorder, is, which is amazing, getting the support. But the parents need support too, and that's okay.
It's more than okay.
Yeah.
It's the best kind of parent to be. Instead of saying, I know this all, it's better to come and say, I need to learn, or I want to learn, or can
Yeah.
I learn?
Yes. Yes. Totally. Um, so when a client meets with you, what can they expect?
Well, they can expect that we're going to talk about what's going on with your child.
Mhm.
That's number one. But how do you feel about it? Not
Right.
just what's going on with your child. Like,
Yeah.
I don't need all the statistics. Of course, we're going to hear where they are and what's happening, but then we're going to just go a step deeper to how do you feel about this? And
Yeah.
what can we do to make this better for your child and for you?
Yes, and like you said, I think so beautifully, are we parenting from a place of guilt, and how do we get out of there? Because eating disorders are so rooted in guilt and shame. If we're parenting from that place, you're gonna fuel unintentionally the disorder. So let's parent from a place of hope.
I That is our main goal, Gabby. We
Yeah.
say that all the time. You know, I try to end almost every session reminding them this is a stage and we're coming out
Yeah.
of it. It's not
Yeah.
lasting forever. Even on our hardest week, we know we're going to see the light. And I can honestly say, Gabby, in every family that we work with so far, at the end of our services, we've seen big differences.
Big
We
changes.
see parents feel filled with hope and knowing that there are brighter tomorrow. This
Yeah.
is not staying forever.
Totally, totally. I think that's one thing as like a parent and as a human, maybe we all need to like embrace a little more of like it's just the season, right? Like whatever you're going through that's hard, right? Even if it's not an eating disorder or whatever it might be, like it's just the season. Like it can't rain forever, right? Like there will be sunshine again. Things will get better. And the fact that you're showing up to do the work for your child is going to ensure that that happens.
Absolutely. And your child, even if in the moment, and a lot of parents tell me when they first come, in
Yeah.
the moment, their teenager is not loving them. Their
Right.
enemy number one, especially moms,
I'm
especially
sure.
moms. The moms are like, the moms are going through taking them to appointments and hearing the negative, like, no, I won't get up for school. And every mean thing you can imagine. The
Yeah.
moms are hearing.
You're the
And
worst cook ever. No wonder I
right.
have an eating disorder. All the things.
And I hate you. They're saying all
Yeah.
kinds of things. And the moms are so beaten down.
I know.
But it's beautiful to tell them this is not staying forever.
Nope.
It's the eating disorder talking when they say
Yes.
these horrible things.
Yeah.
And we're going to help them so they're not feeling this way every single second.
Yeah.
And when they do feel this way, what can you do to get through the rest of your day? I want to help
Totally.
parents find joy in every day, even when the day seems so dark. It doesn't seem like there's joy. There's still joy.
Totally.
And that's what we're finding in our session.
Totally. Yes. Have you heard the term? I'm sure you have. I actually, I think I saw it on your page. It's called a glimmer.
A glimmer.
Yes. Which
Tell
is
me
like this.
more.
This was like so long ago. You posted this, and it was about little, almost like inklings of hope, little inklings of joy. Like the opposite of a trigger is called a glimmer.
I
And
like that.
yeah, you posted about it, girl. Look at that.
I try
You
to
did-
I try to look for positive things,
Yes.
Gabby.
Yes.
Oh, I also with my families, I every week I try to find like a story or an inspirational something that we can build upon.
Yeah.
And last time we talked about the principles of 2x4s, which is a really incredible lesson. And
Yeah.
I just think it's so good when people can think of tangible things and small ways they can be tactile and know that change is coming.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, what is your favorite part about being a family therapist that works with eating disorders? Because it's different than an individual therapist for sure.
My favorite part working with the parents and the families is just reminding them that there's hope. It's
Yeah.
not lasting forever and we're going to get through. And I
Yeah.
think parents just need to be reminded. Sometimes I know
Mhm.
that at the end of the session, when we say it, they're like, I don't believe you, Becky, because it
Yeah.
feels so bad. And I just
Yeah.
say, believe me, it's not staying forever.
Not gonna last forever. Yeah, totally. Most people do recover. Now, the timeline looks different for everyone, for sure. But most people do and can recover. It's just there's a lot of factors, but one of the biggest ones, one of the biggest predictors is the community support that they have. And that starts with their systemic family. And if their parents are getting the support to support them better and give them what they need, they're almost bound to succeed. Not every time, but almost always.
Almost always. But we've been
Yeah.
very blessed with our families that we have had a very high success rate.
Yes, totally, totally. And it's because you do such a good job.
I love the parents. I really love them. Another one of my favorite things, Gab, I want to tell you is
Yes, tell me.
I think in the beginning, dads, the moms are the ones that
Oh,
are
yes. Let's
yeah,
talk about the dads, Beck.
the
Lay it
moms
on
are
me.
beaten down. So the moms are gonna come in like they're exhausted, and the daughters loving the dad still. Dad can keep those off. Every once in a while, the dad will annoy them, but not really, because the
Yeah.
mom is enemy number one. And I love that dads. A lot of times the dads will say like, "I really, I don't need this."
I don't know. Yeah.
And I love it because the dads, they start like learning and talking. And a lot of times dads, men, I feel like
Yeah.
have not really ever gone to anything therapeutic or
No.
been as open to it as moms
Yeah.
are. So
Yeah.
when dads are like, what? I don't need this. But it's so fascinating to watch as they do start to share and as they start to
Yeah.
learn how they see how important their role is. Love
Yes.
that.
Yes. That's so awesome. And I love that dads come.
I love it.
That's great. I think that's so great. And I think that speaks to you as a therapist because men are traditionally not as comfortable showing up in therapy. But then when they show up for their child or because their wife is making them, whatever, you help them feel so comfortable to stick around. And I think that's so valuable. Okay, so tell us, what is your favorite tip? We know we give lots of hope and we help them find little tidbits of joy, but if, someone is watching this and their child is in the midst of an eating disorder, what would you say to them? What tip could you give them?
I would say talk about it. If you
Yeah,
talk about it to your, if you can't talk about it to your child or your spouse, talk about it to your mom, talk about it to your dad, talk about it to your friends, talk about it to your therapist, talk about it. Don't keep it inside, because we keep
mhm,
something inside, it just festers and
yes,
becomes worse. So find someone to talk to. And
yes,
we can help you with that. There's lots of places you can talk and communicate. You'll always have a safe space with us at Recovered and Restored.
yes, totally. You don't have to do it alone. I think that's such good advice because also it feels really shameful. I think it feels really shameful for parents, especially like you said, when we let it fester and it grows. But if we just talk about it, that's how the shame can dissipate.
And that will make your life better.
Yes, totally. So we're going into the holiday season. This time is exciting, but it also can bring up lots of stuff for all the people. How would you tell a family to kind of navigate this upcoming holiday of Thanksgiving?
So I got some good advice my first year, Gabby, when I was
Yeah.
doing this job from
Yeah.
another eating disorder therapist. And I am more of a easier person. Like, I will let things slide and let them pass and like, oh,
Yeah.
today's a special day. But I got some great advice. And they said, even though it's a special day, if you still have things in place, make sure that you go with it.
Yeah.
So if you need to eat at 9, 12, and 5, make sure that you do that. Accommodate your child with that. Make
Yeah.
sure that's still there. Make it safe, make it fun.
Yeah.
And if you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, what can you do? Talk about
Talk
it.
about it. Yeah. Love that. Now tell me, what is one of your favorite holiday traditions in your family?
Oh my gosh, Gabby. Okay. My friends, two of my best friends
Yeah.
started this tradition. We watch this channel on Instagram where the person, I think his name is Daniel the Grateful, gives people like he'll go to Walmart and he'll be like, do you want to
Oh.
buy this this Easter egg, a plastic
Yeah.
egg? And like 9 people will be like, get out of here. No, he'll say for like $1. And people
Yeah.
will be like, no. And
Yeah.
then the 10th person will say yes. And
Yeah.
when they open it, there'll be $1,000 inside.
Oh,
Now,
oh my
my two friends
goodness.
and I, we don't have, of course, thousands, but
Yeah,
last year, each
yeah.
one of us took 300. And my husband actually gave me the 300 as my Christmas present. So we took 300, three $100 bills, each of us. And we went to Walmart in Philadelphia, like in a neighborhood that was like
Lower
a harder
income.
neighborhood,
Yeah.
low
Yeah.
income.
Yeah.
And we were able to give out money and surprise people, and it was so phenomenal. So we did that last year and we're doing it again this year, and I have to say it's the best tradition.
I love that. You have such a giving heart. For those of you who know Becc personally, she just has the most beautiful heart. I love that so much. And then,
Exciting.
okay, favorite holiday treat, because at Recovered and Restored, we believe that all foods fit.
Ah, Gabby,
Favorite
you
holiday
don't have
treat.
to ask me twice. So when Gabby sent me these questions, and I was like, favorite treat? I mean, there's not really a treat I don't like, Gabby,
I
but
love that.
my mom makes so many good things. She's the best
She's
baker in
such a
the
good
world.
baker. Yeah.
And I mean, her apple pie is like
Oh,
ridiculously amazing.
yeah.
I also love on the holidays, there's this little restaurant near here that sells little pots of creme brulee.
Ooh.
Stop the front door because I love those, Gabby. So we
Yeah.
try to get those from like Thanksgiving to Christmas, like once a week.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Yum. Yay.
My kids love it and my husband loves it. So we try to make one night a week. We have a special dessert.
I love that. That's so fun. So yeah, so thank you for talking with us today.
Thank
If
you,
anyone
Gabby.
Oh my god, of course, if anyone wants to work with Becc, please reach out to me through recoveredandrestoredtherapy.com on our contacts page or at Gabrielle LPC or at Recovered and Restored or comment on this video. She is so warm and lovely and wonderful, and she wants to help you challenge this eating disorder in your family system because she loves doing that with families. She loves doing this work. Also, please remember this is not a supplement for therapy. We hope that this brings some hope and some joy to your day and your holiday season. Yeah, thank you for joining us. And Becc, we'll have to do this again soon.
I love it, Gabby. The more the better.
Yay. Bye, everyone.